This is a matter that we should address. We should move with the times. But we all know that the allocation that has been made generally to the Minister of Education this year, 2023-2024, is actually, they got the lion's share. And so we are also saying that the ministry, in its internal allocation, because the national government, through the Budget and Appropriations Committee, has allocated the Minister of Education a whooping 650 billion. So we are telling them they must also see to it that in their internal allocation that they allocate to these learners with special needs. And in fact, we are saying, and the committee members are very categorical, that the first allocation that should be made will be to these learners, these institutions, those caregivers, before anybody else gets a salary. Because the delays, like you have heard the members observe, the delays are only to do with this that have no voice. Teachers are paid their salaries on time. The CS and his staff gets his salary on time. Everybody gets their salary in time. But when it comes to these learners, to their institutions, then there are delays. So we are saying, we are recommending that the first allocation be made to these institutions and to these learners before anything else, because they cannot speak for themselves. The others can. One thing we do not want to hear as a committee is any funding proposal that proposes that a parent pays. You heard them say 9,500 for some category of learners with special needs. You know, some of these parents actually don't do anything that can earn them anything, because some of them, especially mothers, the only thing they do is to take care of these children. And so we are saying any funding model to learners with special needs should be full. The parents should not be called upon to pay anything, because most of them cannot afford it. They already have more than enough burden of taking care of these kids. So that is the only thing that we are not comfortable with in their proposed model. Let the parents not be required to pay anything.
So if these are proposals from 2018, today we are in 2023, then the ministry is not serious. It's not serious at all, because they should then have forwarded their proposals to cabinet and see whether they get adopted, so that these children receive what is due care. You know, some of the equipments used by these learners with disability are very expensive. We are told the braille is around over 100,000. You know, and so it is important that it reflects the children with autism need a lot of equipments to distract them, to engage them. They need, caregivers almost like one-on-one basis. The same case with a mentally challenged. And so I think the ministry may need to up their game in terms of taking care of these children.
The government of Kenya has taken upon itself to give the lion's share of the budget to the Ministry of Education. But with that allocation, we are still hearing a lot of noise, starting with students from the university. They are not getting their money. And then we are having these needy students. They cannot get their money on time. Seriously, it is bothering us. That's why we are here. And I echo what the chairman has said. We need the Ministry of Education to do better than they are doing right now.
Well, colleagues, we have Jonathan removed of his co-analyst and Jerry Mata, the Media Relations Officer.
Thank you, Chair. My name is Darius Mugaka Ugutu. I'm Director of Higher Education, Bishop for a fivefold ministry charge. So my name is Titus Zakayo Ingana. I'm Director of Research in the Ministry of Education.
Thank you, Bishop. That's a title.
Yes. Titus Zakayo Ingana.
Ingana.
Right, Deputy Director, Higher Education. Yes, Frederick Haga, Director Special Needs Education in the State Department of Basic Education.
Special Education. Thank you.
Good morning, Chair. My name is Dr. John Nyangena. I'm the Chief Economist, State Department for Higher Education and Research.
So when we keep asking you to tell us your position again and again, is because you want to know who is present and what business we can be able to prosecute with you. Let's continue. Okay. Okay, speak France. Let's continue.
Yes, Honourable Chair and the members. My name is Dr. Jane Katua, working in the State Department of Basic Education.
Dr. Mogaka, that's all?
Yes, Chair, that's all. In case any other disagreements, I will let the Chair know.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Vice Chair. Your staff are here now, clerk, and I think you have mentioned the names, but they can just. I want just to give an opportunity to the clerk to take us through what we think we need to do this morning, and depending on the officers that are available today. So, clerk, a response from you, and based on that, the clerk is going to take us through and tell us what we are going to start with, and then through the team leader, Dr. Mogaka.
That have not been responded to. Some of them responded in a scant way, and we know that the CSP doesn't respond, it's you who responds. I think, Chair, it's good for us as a committee to let them know they're the ones who prepare these answers. So really, let's be getting the answers from you. We want a very good relationship between the ministry and our committee. Thank you, Chair.
Honorable members, I don't know if there's somebody with maybe a remark before we give the clerk an opportunity. Vice Chair.
Documents that are pending before us that we have invited the ministry to respond to. One is failure by the Ministry of Education to release capitation funds for special schools and explain whether the transparent funds are sufficient to cover all the school's needs to cater for learners with special needs. The second statement that, Chair, maybe we can prosecute is the status of funding for special needs schools in counties. This one was sought by Senator John Kubugwe. Officers have retired and have not been replaced, particularly in Nairobi County, where only 3 EAC officers have 17 sub-counties. And finally, unless the discrepancy in infrastructure between regular and special needs primary and secondary schools